Yeah.
Okay.
And we are live. Hello, everybody. It is Misha
Hi.
Green, DC and digital editor. And it's so good to be back with you on another Afro Live. It's been a while. As I've said before to the folks, I'm actually in a different space, as I'm sure you can see, than normal because I am in Chicago taking care of my mother who is getting better every day. But I'm over here doing the daughter thing with my mother bestie. But
Great.
of course, we want to make sure that all of the stories get out there, that you all get the information that we need in the world. And so for that reason, today we have a very special guest, Miss Vanessa Ridgeway, who is a proud mom.
Yes.
I believe, first and foremost. But she right now is a frustrated mother as well. And so we're going to talk to her a little bit about her awesome son, Tory Ridgeway, who has really overcome a lot and had quite a lot of success in the past year, but ran into a blockade that they believe, and it seems like it could be a little bit of discrimination going on. So we want to get to the bottom of that and see what Miss Ridgeway has to say. So without further ado, first of all, welcome Vanessa to the show. We really appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a blessing to be on, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share the story of my family, and in particular my son. Um, it's been a long 5 weeks.
Ugh,
Um, it's been a very long 5 weeks. It's been a tough 5 weeks, and it's going to go on for, I think, quite a long time.
I,
But I'm,
you know, I can only imagine, what you're experiencing and the feeling in your household right now. If you don't mind, can you share with the folks out there first of all, what is Tori's story? Who is your son,
okay.
Tory Ridgeway? Before we even get into the nitty gritty,
Yes,
he's
he
such
is.
an awesome young man. I got to see some video footage of him, and he is such an awesome young man. So first of all, who is Tori?
Thank you so much. Tori is an 18-year-old high school graduate. He is an honor student, has always been an honor student. Um, he is an 8-time Carson Scholar.
Mm.
He was an Eagle Scout at age 14. Um, yes.
Wow.
Uh, and he speaks French almost fluently, clarinet player. He's just an all around neat kid. Um, Tori was diagnosed with autism when he was 4, and he has been getting supports. We've provided all the supports to help him throughout his school. Um, and because of those supports, he has been successful. He has embraced his individual difference. He has, not allowed the disability to get in the way of successes. He has overcome so many obstacles in his life. He has
Mm.
been, yes, he has been bullied. He has been teased. He has been assaulted. Um, he has cried many times. I have picked him up from school just totally distraught because he couldn't make friends. So he has had difficulties, but they never changed his inner self. That is his spirit. That is just so pure.
Mm.
His desire to help others. It has not changed his outlook on how positive his life could be. All of the things that unfortunate in his life, we were able to help him as a family and a community overcome those challenges and not be bitter toward the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can only imagine as a mother seeing the struggles that he has had in his 18 years,
Yes.
and knowing the pride, of course, having that pride because he has been able to overcome
Yes.
things and keep that positive spirit despite bullying
Yes.
just the nasty treatment that we know a lot of kids
Exists.
experience. But
Yes.
adding, of course, autism, and as you said, and for him to be able to embrace his
Yes.
differences and allow
Mhm.
it to really boost
Right.
the awesome young man that he is, I think is
Yes.
really amazing. And so kudos to you and your family,
Thank you. And
for
I do
sure.
want to share, Tori joined Boy Scouts, and Boy Scouts helped Tori, become this person, this advocate for those children like him.
Mm,
Tori embraced everything about scouting, the leadership, the camaraderie, the giving back to the community. And for his Eagle project, Tori built buddy benches for two of his elementary schools.
wow.
And the purpose of the buddy benches is to help children like himself who could not make friends on the playground or who were left alone on the playground, who didn't have the language to speak to their peers to say, I need a friend. Tori was that child. And he created these buddy benches to help other children like him on the playground. He painted positive affirmations on them, and it was bright blue, so all of the kids would know. He also taught the children and the staff at the school how to use the buddy bench
Mm,
because it's a tool, and he wanted it to be used. So it was a great Eagle project. It was very, very well received, and he also gave a seminar to the community about children living with autism.
wow.
And he actually not saved three, he changed three children's lives. He got them the supports and directed them to supports that they needed. So that is just one of the many things that Tory has done for his community. He's an advocate. He has been participating in systemic change in our school county. So, and it brings us to where we are now. He's at another pivotal point in his life where he is the child, that young adult, I'm sorry,
Hmm.
that has been placed in the unfortunate position where change needs to happen.
Yeah.
Tory wanted to join the military since he was 4. His father's retired. He spent his life around aircraft. He wanted to be a pilot. That wasn't going to work out because of his eyesight. So he switched, and he just wanted to be a part of the aviation community. He wanted to be an aeronautical engineer in the military. He wanted
Hmm.
to serve his country. So that's what he worked toward. He joined NROTC in high school. He advanced to a chief in junior ROTC, and he toured a school that was pretty much right in line with what he wanted to do, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. So he's surrounded by everything he loves, right?
Yeah.
Aircraft, aviation, everything STEM, everything that he just really, really loves and thrives on.
Right.
Um, so Tori applied for both Embry-Riddle, and he applied for Navy ROTC. He got accepted to both. Now, what I will say is Navy ROTC is a long process.
Okay.
It's in depth. And Tori was very transparent throughout the process. He even wrote about being a child with autism, overcoming it in his application for Navy ROTC. It's right there,
Yeah. That was his
right
story.
there.
That was
That
what got him
was
in,
his
right?
story. It's what got him in. What did you overcome? I
Yeah.
came being bullied, because I'm a child with autism. How did you do it? I use my voice. I help make everything, that he has worked for, and every part of that application, it was there.
Yeah.
And guess what? They chose him. He advanced to the next stage, which was a formal interview.
Yes.
Guess what he talked about?
What he
Being
overcame.
able to be a leader and be respected by his peers as a child with autism,
Yes.
right? Like, guess what? He passed that. The interviewer recommended him to the board. So, guess what the board had? All of the information that said, this is a child with autism. These are supports that he had throughout school. This is what he wrote about in his essay. These are the therapies he's had. And guess what? They chose him.
Of course.
They awarded him the scholarship.
Of course. And awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
That is such well deserved, and I can't imagine the awesome feeling that you all had
It was
when you got
phenomenal.
that letter.
He earned that scholarship.
Absolutely.
He earned it. It was not given to him. He earned it. He earned that place, And then 2 weeks later, we received a letter from the Navy saying that he did not qualify because he was a child with autism. They also told us things that we didn't know, that he had these disorders. I'm his mother. He's never had an educational or academic disorder.
Yeah.
Right. He had supports to make him successful. That doesn't equate to a disorder.
Right.
And medical disorders. He doesn't have a medical disorder. It's a blessing when our children can say, "I'm under stress. I feel intimidated. I don't want to go to school. Can I talk to someone?"
Right.
That doesn't mean he has a mental disorder. That means he's a smart kid and knows where to go and get help.
Yeah.
Right. So, so we received that, and to tell you, I cannot put into words how devastated Tory was. We all are as a family, but my child was totally crushed his spirit. He felt like he wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
He felt like everything that he worked for was in vain, was just worthless. Like they didn't care that he worked so hard. Like this whole Navy, they're telling me there's not one place for me. What do you do? What would we do, his dad and I?
Yeah.
But I had to hold my child just like I did when he was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Tight. I remember, when we were giving him therapies as a child, one thing that would help him was to squeeze him tight. It will calm him down. And here I am using the same techniques that I had to use on my child when he was 4 and 5, when he's 18.
Wow.
Because they told him, yes, he had his future in the palm of his hand. And then he felt like they turned around and they took it from him. And that's not where the story ends. That's not where it ends.
Yeah.
The Tory, as I sit here and speak to you, is in new student indoctrination.
Really?
As a child who has been denied a waiver, as a child who got a letter that said it is not recommended you apply for a waiver, we're going to deny you. You're automatically disqualified. But guess what? We're going to send you orders to attend this 4-week boot camp. It's like a boot camp. It's called New Student Indoctrination.
Yeah.
And we want you to show up.
What?
Yes. He is there. He is in week 3, trying so very hard, folks. I want you all to know. He has not given up his dream, even though these people, this Navy, has sent him this letter. Now, what I will say is we are making progress.
Okay. And tell us a bit about that progress. I mean, is the new student indoctrination, as they call it, is that part of the progress, if you will, in doing this boot camp?
Well, I would like to say that the Navy has told the media that they're reaching out to us, and that is quite subjective because we do not have a lot of clarity as to what they're doing. They didn't send us a letter to say, hey, we're considering him. What we did get was a letter saying that they are requesting all of his medical records. So are we to assume that they are rethinking their decision? Can you just call us and let us know? Can you send us a letter? You
Right.
know? Um, but you cannot tell the media that you are working with the parents and you send me an email saying that his scholarship's not rescinded when I just got a tuition bill in the mail yesterday,
Wow.
you know? And this
Wow.
is a fact.
Wow.
This is a fact. So why is my child in Illinois? I know why I sent him to Illinois and his dad sent him to Illinois, because we teach him you don't give up on your dream.
Yeah.
You fight, and at the end of the day, you can say, I fought for my dream. But there is something magnificent out there for Tory, whatever
Absolutely.
it may be. Um, and if I got a little heated, it's because I am.
Yeah, as you should be. I mean,
I am.
hearing the story really, makes me emotional as well, just because, again, and I'm sure the people out there are feeling it as well. Tori and your whole family, you all seem just like wonderful people who work hard and, don't let the nose
No,
stay nose by
no,
any means.
no.
And so that's quite inspirational, but it's hard to hear when there are forces seeming to be working against you despite the really really hard work
Right.
that you're doing.
Yes.
um
And as a parent, I get this letter, and I know there are a lot of parents out there whose children have been denied. When I got the letter, I'm like, I'm just one person, and I need to go up against this big entity, right? But what type of mother would I be if I didn't advocate for my child? It's one thing if the Navy says, okay, we will not accept you if you have autism, right? But the child with autism applies
right.
just to apply, just in case, right? They should have just told him no if the answer is no, you
Right.
know?
Right. Right.
If it's black and white, it's black and white. If it's gray, just let it be gray,
Yeah.
you know?
and
I
and have you spoken to other parents, or people who have run into this issue?
Yes, I have, and that's another reason why we are, the family that's transparent, the family that's trying to get out here in the news and say, you know, our family, you know, we're here to bring this to anyone's attention who may be going through this or may go through it in the future. You know, if it doesn't work for Tory, let's do what we can to help it get better for everyone behind him.
Yeah.
you know and my child has worked hard, and we've we've always talked to him about being this child with these three things that he needs to overcome when he walks into the room amongst his peers and in his professional life, right, in school. You are a male, you are black, and you have a disability.
Hmm.
That's how we raised our child. That's one of the things that we've embraced and helped him and got him every single service that was available for him because he had to work that much harder than his peers to succeed.
Absolutely. And again, I just can't emphasize enough for any of those tuning in a little bit late. He worked hard. I mean, Eagle Scout at 14,
14.
doing such a project like that. Even, you know, most 14-year-olds, and shout out to all of those young people out
Yes.
there. This is not
Yes.
at all an
Yes.
aspersion, but most 14-year-olds, let's just be real, are not worrying about their peers and the
Yes.
things, and, you know, and making a difference in that way to their
Yes.
communities. Y'all
Yes.
are awesome and we love you.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We
Absolutely.
support all of you all, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And which is a reason why we're here too, because there could be a child that may not have a disability, but may have a disqualifier,
Yes.
you know, that wants to serve their country. Okay, let's get that stuff in front of these applications. Let's change this process. There is a flaw in the process.
Yeah.
If you have a child with autism who makes it through not one, not two, but 3 levels and earns a full scholarship, earns it,
Yes.
and it's just so it's so
Yeah.
mean. It's so mean to send a child that letter, you know?
You know, it truly is, you know, we won't
It's
get
inhumane.
into
Yeah,
politics today, but there are so many people who get off right on technicalities such as that, right? Legally.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Legal,
You know,
legally you know, and so in such a situation, you know, fighting is definitely the way to go. I
yeah,
am
yeah.
really appreciative to hear your story and that you all are fighting. What
And
can we do as a community to join in the fight?
right now we are just asking to just spread the story far and wide. Keep our family in your prayers. And when I say in your prayers, it's to pray for whatever God's will is. Because there's a lot to this, right? This is bigger than Tory. You know, I really believe that. And just keep us in your prayers. Keep spreading the story. My email is there. You can reach out to us, and just remember, they cost Tory many opportunities to apply for scholarships by granting him a scholarship. Now he's missed
Yeah.
every scholarship deadline, right? And
Yeah.
here we are with a bill with tens of thousands of dollars that's going to be, it's going to be too.
Yeah.
But guess what? There is going to be a way. You know, God is going to make a way. Tori will be at Embry-Riddle in
Absolutely.
August. So I ask your audience to stand with us, spread this story, make it go across the country everywhere, because it's not only happening to Tori.
Yeah.
There are many people that this has happened to, and will continue unless we use our voice. You know.
You, absolutely. And I really want to emphasize, and that's why I asked the question, you know, have you talked to other people who've been in this situation? Because when I read your story, I was so mind boggled, you know, that something like this could happen. And yet it happens
Yes.
every day, it seems, or with frequency. What gave you, and obviously I hear it in your story and in the narrative and how you've raised Tori, and how your family operates, but really what gave you and your family the nerve to speak out against the Navy, this big entity that is the Navy?
I I have always advocated for my child.
Mm-hmm.
It's all I've ever done. Um, and and I am courageous. I am not afraid Um, and I want to give him the opportunity that he deserves. I want the process to be fair. Well, let's take that back because we all know that life's not fair. But I want them to look at this procedure, and I want other people to join me because I have met people that have said, yes, they denied me, but they just let it go. And they just have accepted, you know, the Navy wrote me in and they said no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, okay, well, why? Please tell me why. And I do a lot of reading. So this is what I read. So tell me where I'm wrong. Help me decipher this. And, you know, I've just never been a person to be afraid to ask questions. As a parent, we're taught ask the questions, the W, who, what, when, where, why, and
Yeah.
H, how. So these are my questions to the Department of Defense, the Navy, and I have some help. I've written to my congressmen, to my senators. I have some great people who are asking questions to the Navy on our behalf. We're the constituents. So I appreciate them so very much. So if there's something that someone out there can help us with, if we're here, you have my information. That's what I want from the public.
Well, I'm looking and I'm seeing the comments and I'm seeing tons of people checking in, and on my phone as I'm going, it's saying so and so is watching. And so I thank all those who are tuning in. We really appreciate the support as always. But hello, Octavia. But in general, I really want to make sure that this story goes out. Y'all know my motto here. I always say sharing is caring. But in particular, this story, we know we care about it. This is something we're passionate about. We want Tory to get that scholarship that he so deserves, that he earned, and that
Yes.
he was awarded until 2 weeks later when it was revoked. We cannot see that this continues. We have to make sure that Tory gets what he truly deserves and earned, and that the
Yes.
Ridgeway family gets some justice in this. So, Vanessa, please,
Yes.
one more time. It's been popping up, of course, for those that are watching in the lower third. But Vanessa, tell the people how they can find you, and I'll emphasize how they can share this
Yes.
story.
My email is vridgeway7@gmail. And the Instagram that I just created is fabulous07 for Tory. And I appreciate all the support that everyone's giving, and we're gonna fight it. We're gonna fight it, and we're gonna get Tory to school safely, and he's gonna move on.
He
So
will.
yeah,
He
pray for
will.
him. Pray for him at New Student Indoctrination. Everyone, he's there until next week, and it's very hard for him. He called me and said, I don't even know why I'm doing this. I sometimes I just want to give up
Mm.
because I don't know if I'm just wasting my time. Maybe I should just give up and be an engineer. So we are praying that whatever God's will is for him, whether he finishes, whether he comes home early, he still wins.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys are all winners. And it's because you go ahead and you get in the ring and you fight. And
Yeah.
so you truly, as heartbreaking, I
Yeah.
think is the fair word that this story is, you all are very inspirational. The
Thank
Afro
you.
family will be sure to pray for you all. I know all of our family out there watching will
Yes.
share Tory
Yes.
and the
And there
Ridgeway family story, as well as also keep Tory in our prayers as He is in his last week and a half or so at
training.
new student indoctrination.
Yes, and if you Google his name, there are 2 DC news stories on him on NBC and CBS. They did 2 news segments, and they will be following up with us as well. So if you Google Tory Ridgeway, the link will come up for that interview, or I can give it to you later.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we can go ahead and throw it in the chat as well. And of course, you all know that this live lives here forever. So you can share it right here on Afro News and share it to wherever you'd like, as well as on YouTube. So go ahead, send out this story on the Afro's YouTube. You can email, text, anything to make sure that this story comes out. I'm seeing that there are folks chatting. I want to make sure I honor what folks have to say. Ava Hall says, "Fight and don't give up. Inspiring words to live by." Thanks. I needed this reaffirmation.
Thank you.
Says hello, and she says, "Wow, I'm listening to the story." So yeah, it truly is a shocker. Oh, Ava, sending positive energy to you, Mrs. Ridgeway and Tory.
Thank you.
Everything will and is working out. Everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Who are sending such positive vibes. You know, we could not be the Afro without our Afro family, and we would not be the Afro unless we were about telling stories. And I know that you folks out there are about making sure that the stories that we tell get out to the people. So make sure you share the Ridgeway's story, and let's get some justice and money, his money back. For sure.
Yes.
That's what we were.
Yes.
No, really.
They cost him opportunities. He could have applied for many other scholarships.
As you said.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
So let's make sure that Tory's story is spread to the masses. I know that you folks out there got lots of people with a lot of fight in them as well. So, you know, get on your email, and as they say, email as well.
Yes.
In order to make sure that Tory gets justice and the Ridgeway family gets justice. Again, connect with Vanessa at vridgeway7@gmail or on Fabulous07 on Instagram. And as you all know, we are the Afro here, Afro American Newspapers, and on Instagram and Twitter at Afro News. We are the Black Media Authority, so make sure you tune into all the information that we are sharing. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you all's time. I appreciate you.